The most common fundraising mistake made by startup founders is rushing into fundraising without a strategic plan. I'm Sam Wong. I've done 5 startups with 3 exits over the last 2 decades. I'm a startup CEO coach, author, and instructor for a library of startup training classes, and we're going to talk about the #1 fundraising mistake I see founders make over and over again and how to avoid it. Most founders have a simple set of priorities when it comes to fundraising. You have to pitch. You tell your story. When you're done with that, you pitch again. After that, you pitch some more. Somewhere below these first 3 priorities lies a bunch of questions all focused on perfecting the pitch. I meet a lot of founders in my role as a startup CEO coach. Over 90% of them want to talk to me about helping them with their pitch. Investor pitches are very important, which is why I built a fundraising pitch scorecard to provide structured, written feedback to founders. You absolutely need to get a lot of input and practice in order to get it right. However, focusing on pitch tactics without a funding strategy is a mistake that I see founders make all the time. Most founders have a follow the herd mentality when it comes to fundraising, which means they just figure out what every other startup does in whatever stage they are at, and then they do the same. Unfortunately, taking this tactical approach often results in raising the wrong amount, which ultimately reduces founder payouts. We have another video that explains how this happens. This tactical, unplanned process that many founders follow typically results in missing the mark. Founders should take a strategic approach as that produces better results. A strategy sounds good, but how do you build and use a strategy? We are fans of using the VSEM Framework, which is short for Vision, Strategy, Execution, and Metrics. Seasoned business executives use VSEM to determine where to go and how to get there. A well-built VSEM framework progresses from a 30,000-foot view down to a 10,000, 5,000, and 1,000-foot view. We didn't invent VSM, but we do use it in our content and in our training curriculum, such as our startup execution roadmap depicted here. In business, it's generally accepted that all significant efforts should start with a strategy. Every seasoned marketing, product, and sales leader knows to build a strategy first to guide their path. Funding strategies, though, are amazingly rare. Lack of a funding strategy is a gaping hole, and it's the #1 fundraising mistake. We explain how non-strategic fundraising creates problems in another one of our videos. A funding strategy consists of 4 components: funding approach, funding sources, funding vehicles, and funding targets. Together, they answer 6 key questions. When should you raise funds? Why should you time your fundraise this way? How much should you raise? From where should you raise? What type of funds, and from whom? This video is a brief snippet from our 4-hour funding strategy class that you can find on our website, fundablestartups.com. If this was helpful, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and click the bell to be notified when we release new content. When you do this, YouTube promotes our videos to others, which allows us to spend less time on our marketing and more time creating startup content for you. We hope this video helps you build a very healthy, fundable startup.